Why did I snack during the nighttime? And I had these mad cravings that I just couldn't say no to. I went always just a little bit over my calories with these mistakes. But now I have researched this topic a lot. I have read this book, Matthew Walker, Why We Sleep. I have listened to around 10 hours of podcasts from Andrew Huberman. I have looked at research studies and I have gotten the best out of them, and I've made notes. I've really put much effort into this, and these are the I can't show, but here are the notes. And I have actually bettered my sleep so much. I'll tell you the reason why you are craving those foods and why aren't you capable of being strict on your diet and actually eating the food that you want to be eating and nothing more. But first, what actually caused me to be in this way? It was because I had the wrong perception about food. Food for me was something that was tasting great and I got this good feeling from it. What I usually do is I get the food and then I go behind my computer, I watch a video or whatever entertainment thing, and I pair them two together and I'm riding on this fucking dopamine high, whatever. It was just this thing that was supposed to make me feel good. It was supposed to taste 10 out of 10, and I just didn't know any better that actually healthy types of food can also be tasty. You can actually enjoy them. I have now recently implemented this plan that I'm eating only every day the same foods. So for the breakfast I have eggs and some steak, and I've been doing this for months. My girlfriend makes fun of me because of it. She's like, how can you eat the same thing over and over again? But it is because I enjoy that food. You know what I'm saying? If you have the food that you actually eat, you like and you want to eat, it's not hard to stick to it. But the question is, have you found it? Do you know what you actually like and what is the thing that you can eat over and over again? Because this deletes the chance that you can go wrong and during the day you have to think, okay, what will I be having for lunchtime? And then you make the wrong choice. This ends up fucking you over and you can't actually be strict on your diet because you're going to eat shitty food. Now, the second reason was because I was actually going sleep really late in the evening, and I'll tell you why this matters, and it actually gives a big role with eating food and those cravings. So the nighttime was a chill time for me, where I would just turn off and watch some videos, watch Netflix, watch whatever thing that I wanted to, right? And it was hard to get out of that situation and go to bed because sleeping wasn't that fun, right? You do nothing, and besides you don't have to do anything tomorrow, so why not spend the most time here while it's fun, right? But this just kept fucking me over because, do you know, when the time hits maybe 9, 10, 11, I swear to God that there is a 50% or 100% increase in cravings. Because think about, when is the most likely time that you can actually snack and eat more calories? It's at nighttime, when you have eaten all of your foods and you're just pushing your awaken time further and further away, and then you just can't bear with the hunger anymore, and you go to the cabin, you take shit, you take extra 400 calories, boom, you zeroed out your deficit, maybe even gone over it. And then comes this part of when you go to sleep late, your sleep amount is lessened, and this also fucks with your hormones. This actually makes you more hungry. This makes you not as full when you are eating food because of the fluctuation that you get. Besides, you feel more tired when you haven't slept good. So you do less exercise, you're more likely to eat other foods that you don't want to eat, because you know that feeling. You wake up, you're fucking tired, and you think to yourself that I just can't be fucking asked right now to eat my eggs and like steak. So you go to the store, you buy some shit. But why? Why happens? Why does your hormones fluctuate, and how does it actually work? I remember this one study from the book Why We Sleep. They did a study on people, on those guys who slept for 6 hours or less, and then other guys who got sufficient amount of sleep, and they both were losing weight, so they were in a caloric deficit. The group of which got 6 hours or less sleep, most of the weight lost came from lean body mass, from the muscle mass. The thing that you want to build and get more of, they lost it. And the other group, those guys who got sufficient amount of sleep, some little part was the muscle, and the most part was fat. So whilst you think that, oh, I'm a busy guy and I want to like relax at the end of the day and fuck sleep, but also you want to get in shape and you want to lose fat. So this is like a fact that will happen. This is something that is not, oh, it doesn't apply to me. How does this like process happen? First of all, it elevates your cortisol levels, which helps to break down muscles. It is like your muscle decaying like hormone. And second of all, it decreases your growth hormone. So that's the thing that repairs the muscle. When we go out to train and we do biceps curls, then our muscle, the work that it's doing, it is creating these little micro tears in them. And the growth hormone is the thing that repairs those little micro like damages. And when the process has happened, everything's repaired, then your muscle is a little bit stronger. But without sufficient amount of sleep, that process is lessened because of the lessened amount of growth hormone, and it reduces the protein synthesis. So, you know, everybody tells you eat high protein and Yes, hell yeah, that is completely true. But this process, if you sleep less, it completely turns it upside down, your protein synthesis. This is how muscle is built. You eat protein, your body takes it in, then happens this process, protein synthesis, and it repairs the muscle and comes back stronger. The most interesting part, which plays a huge role, is that since you're getting less amount of sleep, your hormones fluctuate. This hormone called ghrelin, the feeling of hungriness, how much your mind tells you want food, it increases. It goes up and you crave more food just because your like brain is confused. And a second hormone that actually gets decreased is leptin, the feeling of fullness, the feeling after you've eaten the food, the feeling that, oh, I'm now full, I don't want any more food. This becomes blocked or restricted, and you get lessened amount of it. This means, one, you feel more hungry, so it is harder for you to say no to those extra foods. Second of all, you don't feel as full. If this isn't a reason to start taking sleep seriously, then I don't know what will, because I think you just should click off the video, because you are clearly not serious about this topic, and stop wasting your time. Now, think about how much water humans need to survive. The amount isn't that high, but to thrive, we need approximately 3 to 4 liters of it. It is exactly the same with sleep. Most people can get around with 6 to 7 hours of, but when you want to thrive and you want your body to function optimally, those processes to occur and actually be as efficient as possible, then you want to get more amount of sleep. You don't want those hormones fluctuating and fucking up your like feelings, how much you want to work out, how much food you want to eat, how full do you feel. how to actually fix this. What steps should you take to not feel those bad occurrences? First of all, this concept of 8 hours of in-bed time does not equal 8 hours of sleep. First of all, because your sleep efficiency is not 100%. It is maybe around 80-90%. Then from that 8 hours of bedtime, you get 7 and a bit hours. Okay. Then we add the second thing. When you go to bed, is it like when you lie down, as soon as you lie down, you are asleep? No. It takes 15, 20, half an hour. It takes time for you to fall asleep. So what was 7 and something hours of sleep now is 6 and something. So that's how I was sleep deprived for the most duration of my life. That's why it was so hard for me to say no to those cravings, and I failed miserably on my diet and losing weight, and I felt fucking shitty because of it. I just didn't know what was happening. I did not understand the processes. So this is a actionable step for you, is to get at least 9 hours in bedtime, preferably 9.5 hours. This means that you get 8 and something hours of sleep, which is the amount that you actually need to recover from your workouts, to not feel those hormones fluctuated and actually have normal levels of hungriness and feeling saturated after eating. So you need to cut away, I know it will suck, you need to cut away the time in the nighttime when you are just mindlessly behind your computer. I know it is fun and it is hard, but I know you want to see progress, right? It is I think it is ingrained in us as men that the thing that makes us feel good is progress. It is ingrained in every human being. And when we don't see it, that's the reason why we don't feel motivated. That's the reason why shit doesn't feel fun. But as soon as you start seeing progress, you start seeing that little bit of triceps development, your arms getting bigger, you put on more weight in the gym, you start losing those love handles, you start seeing that little separation in your six-pack. That's when everything is fun. Now, the second step is about this thing called circadian rhythm, or maybe it is better to put it as your clock that is inside you. Everybody has this internal clock. Our brain knows which time it is, the morning, night, and according to that, processes arrive, like your tiredness, the feeling that you want to go to sleep, and at the morning happens you need to get energized so you don't have those feelings of tiredness. This clock is set by the light outside. So when you don't go outside during the day, mostly you're inside. So this means to set that inside clock of yours at the exact time, that morning time, I need to be awake, I need to be sharp doing things. At nighttime, I need to get sleepy in order for me to fall asleep as fast as possible. You need to go first thing in the morning, open your window, go outside, whatever it is you can do, just get 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight into your eyes. This, you probably think that, oh, I'll just look out of the window. Yeah, it doesn't work, because glass actually takes away the brightness that is actually necessary to set that clock inside. So this means open the window, get contact with the light outside, inside your eyes. This means that the clock knows. It seems weird, right? You have a clock inside of yours that you have to set up, whatever, but it is actually how it works. When you let know your inside clock that it is morning time, then it becomes exactly on point. 10 to 15 minutes just outside, just sit there, maybe 5 minutes, will help you and will make that clock inside of you work. You will feel tired at the end of the night, because I know so many of you will think that, oh, I'm not tired, I don't go to sleep because I'm not tired, and yeah, you're not tired because firstly, You don't see sunlight, you don't go outside. Most of your day is spent inside, exactly like I was. And second of all, because you are watching bright light from a screen at nighttime. Now you have, everybody's told you that, oh yes, don't be behind your computer at night and blah blah blah. We all know it. But this is a place for you to improve, for me to improve as well, because I know it is hard. Sometimes you just don't want to put down that phone. And what happens is, you might think that, oh, it doesn't interrupt my sleep. I can go to bed. Well, okay. But do you know it actually interrupts your sleep, and your sleep quality is shittier because of it. Those hormones fluctuating, those muscles being repaired, how we are feeling, how much food that we want to eat the next day, how full do we feel. So taking this seriously is essential. Now, I have little actionable things for you to do. Sleeping in the cold is essential for good quality sleep. Below 20 degrees Celsius, around 17-18 degrees should be the best for like getting optimal sleep and upping the sleep quality. So today when you go to bed, open a window. It is as simple as that. Just sleep in a little bit colder room. Second little tip, use a eye mask, especially those occasions when it's bright outside. Your curtains maybe don't block out the light completely. I find it hard to fall asleep. So I put the mask on. It is completely dark. So much easier for me to fall asleep. And then in the morning time, when the sun starts rising earlier than I want to wake, it interrupts me. Sometimes I wake up because, you know, that inside clock of yours is set right and it knows that, oh, wake up bitch, it's sun is outside, it knows. Then you have this mask on and you have your alarm set. You will wake up on the time that you actually want to wake up. Now, if you are actually serious about getting in shape and losing that fat, those like love handles, then the first link in the description, I have this free call. Let's hop on and just talk. I can maybe give you some tips, or we can just have this conversation. Yeah,